focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. Forbes India presents D2C Disruptors Awards, powered by Smytten.
Welcome to the Forbes India presents D2C Disruptors Awards, powered by Smytten and Process Advisors EY. Tonight, we are here to identify and recognize trailblazing D2C brands across categories who stand out from their peers in terms of product quality, customer experience, marketing strategy, growth sustainability, innovation, and future potential. But before we get deeper into this conversation and into this evening, which is going to be full of captivating conversations with industry leaders, I would first like to please call on stage Neha Bothra, Assistant Editor, Forbes India, for her welcome address.
Hello and welcome to Forbes India D2C Disruptors Awards. The D2C or direct-to-consumer model has redefined how you and I interact with brands. We at Forbes India have closely tracked the rise and rise of D2C companies over the past couple of years. Currently, the D2C industry is a $12 billion market and is expected to grow at a CAGR of about 40% to $60 billion by FY27, according to a recent study conducted by CII and Praxis Global Alliance. But don't take my word for it. We have a power-packed evening lined up for you, so do sit back, enjoy the evening. Thank you.
That was really nice and warm and welcoming, Neha. Thank you so much. Well, tonight, as we celebrate D2C brands who have disrupted this sector, we also need to recognize the efforts that have gone into the evaluation process, right, by the grand jury. Very important. How they select the winners, which have been all the winners who've been selected here tonight. So to talk more on the selection process, may I please welcome on stage Sakshi Kishnani, Director EY.
It's been an honor to be associated with the awards. The EY team has defined the evaluation process, the award categories. We've moderated the jury rounds as well. We've assisted the team to develop the framework and to implement it. The awards were segregated into three broad segments: the industry, the product innovation, and sustainability, along with two special awards, the D2C Disruptor of the Year and the Marketing Campaign of the Year. On behalf of Ernst & Young, I'd like to congratulate all the participants and all the winners as well for making this edition a huge success. And I hope you have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakshi, for that. And a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for EY and our grand jury for taking time out and doing such a splendid job. Now, before we move on to our first set of awards, we need to have a first panel for the panel discussion for the evening. And the discussion today that we're having on our first topic is India's evolving D2C landscape from an investor's lens. I would like to call on stage Shruti Mishra, Deputy Editor CNBC, TV18, to moderate the session. I would also like to invite her panelists on stage, Rajan Anandan, MD, Sequoia India and Southeast Asia and Surge. And also on stage for the panel discussion, I would like to call Anshul Jain, MD, Lighthouse.
Rajan, let me start with you. We all know that the D2C market is among the most booming subsector in the e-commerce industry. So let me just address the elephant in the room. What makes Rajan Anandan bet big on a D2C startup? What piques your interest?
At Sequoia, look, we've invested in late-stage companies like Mamaearth. We have many early-stage companies across categories, mostly beauty and personal care. But we have toys, we have drinking water, purifiers. We actually, in our next search cohort, you'll see some very interesting companies in other spaces. But fundamentally, what do we look for, right? If you're early stage, we try to make sure that the team that's building this company has the set of skills to actually build a large new consumer brand.
Okay.
And an important part of that is unique insight into the customer segment that you're trying to serve, as well as the specific customer need that you're trying to serve, right? Because today, given sort of the reach of e-commerce, it's not that hard to launch a new brand and get it to a few crores a month of revenue. But if you really want to build a large company, you've got to have a unique insight into a problem and a customer segment.
Anshul, I want to ask you, how do you perceive D2C startups when you're investing, and what has changed,
So look, for us, brand investments have been almost a 15-year-long journey before this term even came into picture. And at that point in time, the terms that was used was, how affiliated the consumer is, what is the experience consumer is getting, and are you making the consumer come back to you, right? 6, 7 years ago, when India started to see a lot more happening on the digital infrastructure is when you saw consumers also moving in that journey. Initially, to begin with, a very millennial customer who was comfortable buying online, and then, of course, COVID accelerated that process for basically everyone. And that is where our consumer brands, started to come online, because this is one of the very important means to reach the consumer.
What a wonderful panel discussion that was to kickstart the night. We are going to start from our first award segment now, which is the best D2C brands under 5 years. Well, this segment recognizes brands who have been in the D2C space for under 5 years, starting from May 1st, 2018. These brands in such a short time have delivered excellence to their customers and have sustained it. So the first category of this segment is beauty and personal care. And the winner for this category, ladies and gentlemen, is Saint Botanica. Please put your hands together. The next award category is food and beverages. And the winner for that category is Coffeeza. Our next award category for best D2C brands under 5 years is health and wellness. And the winner for this category is Well-Being Nutrition. Well, moving on to the next award category, home and lifestyle. And the best D2C brand under 5 years for the home and lifestyle category is Trust Basket. And the final category for this segment is mom and baby. And the winner for this category is Milo. The next award is for the D2C Brand of the Year, Sustainability category. This award recognizes a brand that has taken steps towards a sustainable environment, which has also impacted the scalability of its business operations. And for this category, the winner is True Elements. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all our winners and for our presenters. Thank you so much.
Forbes India presents D2C Disruptors Awards, powered by Smytten. Forbes India presents D2C Disruptors Awards, powered by Smytten.
Next up is the second panel for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, which is decoding new media for new age consumers. To delve deep into the new customer experience and how brands need to be well informed of customers' changing needs and adapt to continue to deliver value, please welcome our moderator, Naini Thakur, special correspondent, Forbes India. Also for her panel discussion, I would like to call the panelist, Swagat Sarangi, the co-founder of Smytten, please. Huge round of applause. Welcome on board. And could I also call on stage Sukleen Aneja, CEO, Good Glam Group. Also for the panel discussion, I'd like to call Bhaskar Ramesh, Director, Omnichannel Businesses, Google India.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Swagat, Bhaskar, and Sukleen. Getting right to the topic, I'm going to start with you, Sukleen. If you can tell us a bit about how do brands sort of leverage the ever-changing digital and new media to continue being relevant for these new age customers, so to speak?
I think customers are you and me. So
Yeah.
the very fact you stay relevant is by A, being authentic, B, recognizing that all of us are changing, right? Earlier, the only factor you would perhaps consider would have just been benefit and price. Now you spend that time discovering, you do your research, you look at ratings. The very fact that all of us are today picking up brands that didn't have a legacy past, And many of us today are sitting in this room hearing about brands which have a sizable value, but these are brands born less than 5 years ago, and the very fact that's happening is because consumers today are wanting to try new products, new brands, and that itself is reflecting of the changing reality.
Absolutely. And Bhaskar, coming to you, since the pandemic, consumer behavior has changed drastically. Tell us more about these new consumer behavior trends. How have they changed in the last couple of years?
The last couple of years, retail has completely transformed, right? E-commerce has really taken off. But as the pandemic has receded, we are seeing that people are really going back to offline in a very big way. So the biggest change that we see is that I think the future of retail from now on is going to be omni-channel. Whether you are a digital-first company embracing offline, or you're an offline company embracing digital, the D2C brands have taken off in a very big way. We see almost 600% growth in D2C, people looking for D2C brands, and the willingness to try new brand or a product has never been so amazing.
Swagat, coming to you. Tell us, what is this new age customer? I'm tired of seeing new age now, but what is this new age customer really looking for? Is it authenticity, value for money, quality product? What is it?
You can't just put like one formula fits all to a new age consumer, right? I mean, as they're evolving in their journey, their requirements, their ambitions, their aspirations are also very different.
Yeah.
So there are 5 fundamental reasons why we believe there is a use case for a new brand adoption, right? So one is, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever, because of the democratization of information, the whole world is living in a bit of FOMO, right? So that is kind of one of the biggest drivers where you say that, okay, am I missing out on anything? The second thing we say that, okay, there is a kind of an inherent dissatisfaction that was there, and previously there were probably no options.
Yeah.
Now the consumer has a lot more options, and then they're trying to get over that dissatisfaction. The third is, which is again as another counterpoint of probably the information democratization, that there is a lot of choice. And sometimes the consumer is saying, okay, let me try this, let me try that. So there is a bit of a dating happening today.
Yeah.
And the consumers are trying a lot more things. The fourth factor is there is like some concern the consumer is trying to solve for. Like, for example, if you look at hair fall as a concern, right?
Yeah.
It's been haunting, I think, with the pollution going up and with all these things happening with the stress and other factors.
Yeah.
Last 20 years, nobody has been able to kind of solve for it.
Yeah.
And suddenly there is a lot of new age solutions that came up, and people said, hey, let's kind of give it a shot. So there are like 4 or 5 fundamental factors which is kind of driving the consumption of this new age consumer. Now the use cases for that consumer in the same day varies across these 4 buckets. So then you need to figure out that on what context, on what platform, what are you communicating the consumer with. That is what technology helps you to do. It helps you to build a context, understand the consumer, and kind of hence tailor the communication.
Thank you, panelists, for sharing such pertinent points and thoughts. Thank you, Sukleen, once again, and Neni. May I please request the rest of the panelists to kindly stay back on stage to give out awards for our second round today. And may I also invite on stage Siddharth Saini, the Senior Vice President and Head of Marketing for Special Projects Network 18. A huge round of applause, everyone. So our next segment of awards is Best D2C Brands Over 5 Years. Well, this segment recognizes brands who have been in the D2C space for more than 5 years from May 1st, 2018. These brands have paved their path in this growing D2C industry and are making sure that they are here to stay. So the first category of this segment is beauty and personal care, and the winner for this category is My Glam. All right, moving on to our next category in this segment, food and beverages. And the winner for this category is Vadam India. Health and wellness is our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner is Sirona. Well done, Sirona. Our next award category, ladies and gentlemen, for Best D2C Brands over 5 years is Home and Lifestyle. And the winner is wakefit.co. Congratulations once again. The final category for Best D2C Brands over 5 years is Mom and Baby. And we have 2 winners in this category. In no particular order, let me invite the people, the winners on stage. First up, let's please put a big round of applause for the Moms Co. Our second winner in this category, please put your hands together for Baby Chakra. Our next category for the best D2C brands over 5 years is sports, fitness, and tech wearables. And the winner for this category is Noise. Congratulations. All right, these were all the winners we had from this segment, which was Best D2C Brands over 5 years. A big round of applause for all the winners and our presenters. I would like to request Swagat to please stay back on stage. And I would also like to invite on stage the other half of Smytten, which is Siddharth Nangia, to share their thoughts on the Smytten User Choice Awards.
For the first time, we are formalizing in a way that the consumers are going to choose the products that they love after they have tried. So this is the first of its kind award that we're going to announce today. Brands, when they do any research, we spoke a lot on innovation today. We heard a lot on that so far. A lot of effort that goes behind it, for sure. And at the same time, brand, if they get to know that consumers have loved the product, it will give them a different high. And that is why we're here today. What we have done over the last 4 to 6 weeks is, we started this awards, brands have to opt in to do that. It was a category agnostic, multiple category brands came on the board. It was overwhelming response. More than lakh samples went on to the market where consumers had chosen it. And after that, they had to give a feedback on the products across different parameters, right from packaging, quality, NPS, overall experience of the product, so on and so forth. And basis that, and all the audit that was done, finally we have come up with the awards. So 65 brands participated in it, and today we are going to talk about 5 brands, the top 5 on it. Congratulations, teams. Can I have Plum team on the stage, please, first? The guy who just became a father 3 days back, and he's here to collect the award. Lucky girl for him.
Congratulations to the winners, Just Herbs and Plum. And thank you so much to the panelists for being here with us and giving us such words of enlightenment. Well, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our third panel for the evening, which is building a D2C brand for the future. We please welcome our moderator for the session, Shilpa Ranipeta, special correspondent, CNBC TV 18. And for the panel discussion, could I also call the panelists? First, could we please have on stage Bobby Pawar, Chairman and Chief Creative Officer, Havas Group India. Could I also call on stage Sonal Dabral, writer, director, and creative consultant. Third person for our panel discussion, could I please call on stage Arush Chopra, co-founder and CEO, Just Herbs.
I'll start with Arush, with you first. Can you tell us how do you identify a need gap to build a brand that's not just for today, but for the future?
I think need gaps should be looked at as what they are, just need gaps. They shouldn't be looked at as, are these need gaps big enough to make a lot of money? Because you don't realize when those need gaps become really big. Like the product that won the award today, the lip and cheek tint, was a very small category on Amazon, a year and a half ago. This is a bestseller on Amazon. We've won the award on Smytten. And when we launched it, had we thought that, oh, is this a big enough category? Do enough people use it yet? Well, we would have missed out on a great product, right? So you have to take those bets, and being very nimble, agile, being sort of willing to take that risk again and again is what differentiates the so-called legacy brands, legacy companies from us smaller guys.
Sonal, from a brand strategy point of view, and I want to throw this question for both of you, how important is brand communication or creative communication when you're building a brand like this?
Oh, it's hugely important.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes without saying that it's important, and that's why we are seeing such plethora, such clutter of words and visuals. And I sometimes worry. I spent all my life with words and visuals, but the amount I'm seeing now, it's absolutely maddening. And here comes the key. D2C brands, I think, have to see it as their strength and opportunity that they are in a place where they can tell great stories and build great brands.
But if you want to build a truly successful brand, you need to disrupt everything. Okay, you've got to disrupt the category. Fundamentally disrupt the category. If you don't have the disruptor mindset, otherwise you will never stand out. I mean, that's what I think it is. You've got to show out to stand out.
Thank you, everyone. That was a very informative session. And thank you, Arush, for joining us. Thank you so much. Next, what we have is the award category, which is for D2C Brand of the Year. That's a big one. And the category is Product Innovation. This award recognizes a brand that has taken steps towards a sustainable environment, which has also impacted the scalability of business operations. And for this category, the winner is Teeth a Bit. Now moving on to our next award of the evening. The next award category is Marketing Campaign of the Year. And the winner for this category is Sirona. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it brings us to the final award of the night. For that, I would like to request the founders of Smytten, Swagat Sarangi and Siddharth Nangia, to please come back to the stage. And I would also like to invite back on stage Siddharth Seni, Senior Vice President and Head of Marketing, Special Projects Network 18. So the final award category of the night is the D2C Disruptor of the Year Award. The winner for this category, ladies and gentlemen, is Boat. Please put your hands together for Boat. Congratulations to Boat once again. Before you all leave, could I please ask all the winners and all the presenters to come back on stage for a photo group, please? Let's have a huge round of applause for everyone.
Forbes India presents D2C Disruptors Awards, powered by Smytten. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.